Hello guys, I'm teacher Grace. Okay, so today we're gonna be learning how to describe a graph. Can you describe what is happening in the graph? Okay, remember that your final project is going to be this. You have to describe what is happening in the graph. Okay, so the first thing is to check like what is the information in the graph. So you have sales and then you have the period of time. Okay, to describe what is happening in the graph, also you have to like see what are like the major changes in the graph. That in this case would be like how they started and then the how they reached like the peak in here, and finally what is happening like right now in the company. Okay, so let's start describing. Remember that we have a list of adjectives and adverbs and also a list of verbs that will help us describe this. Okay, so let's begin. So during the first period, they started like very well. They started increasing the sales. So you may start with something like this. The sales increase in the first 2 months. And the growth continue during the next months. We can say here like in the following 1 and 2, the next 2 months. Okay. After that, we are going to talk about the peak. So we can say to avoid repetition and instead of saying again the sales, we can talk about numbers. The numbers peaked in the 5th month. Okay? And finally, you have to talk about the sad part in here. Okay? Number 3. In the last, 1, 2, 3 months. In the last 3 months, the sales or the numbers decrease dramatically. Okay, so this is a way of explaining, and basically the only thing that you are going to do is to choose different words and different ways of describing the graph. Okay, now let's continue with qualifying adverbs. The qualifying adverbs you have in here: just, a little, slightly, a bit, nearly, can be used before prepositions to describe numbers. Okay, I think that you already know the meaning of these words, but let's give a quick check. For example, you have 99.75 is just under 100, just under, so it's a, a cachito, right? Something so tiny. Then 59.2 seconds is slightly under a minute, slightly. And then you have a grade of 66 is barely above the passing grade. So in here you have all of these are to talk about minimal numbers, numbers that are just like not a lot.